You are paying $56,000 for a brand new Lexus while the most reliable vehicle ever recorded in American history is sitting on a used lot right now for under 10 grand. I am not guessing. I am not clickbaiting. Independent data analyzed 174 million vehicles, and the results made the entire new car industry look like a very expensive joke. I have spent years digging through reliability data, owner reports, and real-world mileage numbers that dealerships hope you never see. And what I found will make you genuinely angry the next time you walk past a new car showroom. Stay with me until the end of this video, because I am about to show you 5 vehicles, all under $10,000, that are statistically built to outlast almost everything rolling off the lot today. And one of them has already crossed 1 million miles. Twice. If you are new here, smash that like button and hit subscribe, because we talk about the stuff car salesmen pray you never Google. Number 5. The 2006 to 2008 Lexus GX470. There is a brand new Lexus sitting at the dealership right now for $56,000. Directly across town, a 2006 GX470 is parked on a used lot for under $9,000. Same badge on the hood, same leather inside, same name on the key fob. One of them comes with a monthly payment that will follow you around for the next 6 years. The other one was engineered by Toyota to outlast the loan on the new one by a significant margin. Most buyers walk into the Lexus dealership because the badge feels safe. The buyer who does the homework walks out of the used lot with the same badge, a body-on-frame chassis, and a V8 that shares its DNA with the Toyota Land Cruiser, one of the most mechanically indestructible vehicles ever built. Here is what most people completely miss about the GX470. Toyota built this on the same platform as the Land Cruiser Prado, which means underneath the leather seats and the wood trim and the premium audio system, there is a truck chassis engineered for conditions that would retire most SUVs before lunch. Body-on-frame construction, a 4.7-liter V8, full-time four-wheel drive with a locking center differential, and a suspension system designed to handle terrain that has no business being driven on. All of that under $9,000 because the used market is too distracted by crossovers to notice what it is walking past. The 2UZ-FEV8 in the GX470 is the same engine family Toyota used across the Land Cruiser, the Sequoia, and the Tundra. It has no cylinder deactivation, no turbochargers, and no timing belt. It runs a timing chain that Toyota engineered to last the life of the vehicle. Port fuel injection keeps the intake valves clean without any expensive carbon cleaning services showing up on your maintenance schedule. Any shop that has ever worked on a Toyota truck can service this engine without charging you luxury labor rates to figure out what they are looking at. According to RepairPal, the GX470 carries an average annual maintenance cost of $733, which sits below the luxury SUV segment average and dramatically below what a comparable European luxury SUV will cost you to keep running. The reliability rating is 4.0 out of 5.0, placing it among the most dependable luxury SUVs in its class. The probability of a severe repair in any given year is just 9%, compared to a segment average that runs considerably higher on anything wearing a German badge. Now here is the caveat, and on the GX47. There are 2 things worth knowing before you hand anyone money. The first is the rear differential. On high mileage examples, the rear diff can develop a whine or a hum that signals wear inside the unit. A differential service at purchase costs around $150 and tells you immediately whether the fluid has been maintained or ignored for the last several years. Ignored differential fluid on a 4-wheel drive system is how people turn a great deal into a drivetrain repair bill they were not expecting. The second thing to watch is the air suspension on any example that has it. Some GX470 trims came equipped with height-adjustable suspension, and when those components wear out, the repair is not cheap. Confirm whether the example you are looking at has air suspension or a conventional setup before you fall in love with it, because the maintenance profile is different depending on the answer. Here is your inspection checklist before any money changes hands. Number 1. Confirm the timing chain has not developed a rattle on cold start. Light noise at startup that clears within 30 seconds is normal. A rattle that stays after the engine warms up is a chain guide issue that deserves a closer look before you commit. Number 2. Check the differential fluid condition front and rear. Dark, burnt-smelling fluid tells you the previous owner treated the four-wheel drive system as a decoration rather than a mechanical component that needs maintenance. Number 3. If the vehicle has height-adjustable suspension, test every setting before the test drive is over. Confirm the system moves smoothly and hold position. A suspension that hesitates or drops is already telling you something. Number 4. Inspect the frame rails underneath for rust, especially on any example from a northern state. Body on frame is a long-term advantage, but only if the frame itself has been taken care of. Number 5. Take a corner at around 30 miles per hour and listen for any clunking from the front end. Upper control arm bushings wear on high mileage examples and run $300 to $600 to address, which is manageable if you know about it going in. Right now, 2006 to 2008 Lexus GX470s are listed starting around $7,500 on cars.com, with well-maintained examples in the $8,500 to $10,500 range. The under $10,000 entry point lands on examples with 150,000 to 190,000 miles, which for this engine and this platform is not a warning sign. It is just a number. Verify current listings before you go shopping because clean GX470s at this price move faster than most buyers expect. The GX470 is a Land Cruiser platform wearing a Lexus badge, available for under $9,000, because the used market has not fully connected those two dots yet. Body-on-frame durability, a V8 that was engineered to run forever, genuine luxury inside, and maintenance costs that stay well below what any European competitor will demand from your wallet. The new Lexus across the street is not a better vehicle. It is just a shinier one. Number 4. That is either a tragedy or the best deal in the used car market right now, depending on which side of the transaction you are on. The FX37 looks like something a sports car drew on a napkin when it was feeling ambitious. Low roofline, aggressive stance, a center of gravity that has no business being this low on a vehicle with 4 doors. And underneath that hood sits the exact same V6 that Nissan bolted into the 370Z. A 2-seat sports car engine inside a luxury crossover, available for less than $8,000, purely because most buyers have no idea what they are walking past. That is the only reason the price is still this low. The name is unfamiliar and the shape is unusual, and that confusion is costing sellers money and saving buyers thousands. If you are new here and this kind of information is useful to you, hit that like button right now and subscribe. We find the deals the dealerships hope stay buried. Here's what makes the FX37 genuinely different from everything else in this price range. Most luxury SUVs work very hard to isolate you from the road. The engineers soften everything, numb the steering, and wrap you in so much insulation that you forget you are operating a 2-ton machine. The FX37 does the exact opposite. The steering talks to you. The throttle responds before you finish thinking about it. Every corner reminds you that this thing was engineered by people who actually cared about how it felt to drive. For anyone who is exhausted by the idea of spending real money on something that drives like an expensive minivan, the FX37 is the answer nothing else in this budget can give you. Now here is where it gets even more interesting under the hood. Nissan over-engineered this engine because it was originally destined for a sports car, and sports car engines are not built to be babied. The VQ37 VHR has a forged steel crankshaft and forged connecting rods. Forged internals handle real-world stress significantly better than cast alternatives, which means this engine was built to survive long before it ever ended up in a crossover. No cylinder deactivation, no turbochargers, port injection, and 3 timing chains. 3. The engineers were not cutting corners anywhere. The result is an engine that routinely reaches 200,000 miles without major intervention, as long as the oil gets changed on schedule. RepairPal rates the FX platform at 3.5 out of 5 for reliability, and the average annual maintenance cost for the FX37 sits at $744. Compare that to a BMW X5 or a Range Rover from the same year, and the FX37 starts looking less like a used car and more like a financial decision that actually makes sense. Sports car DNA, luxury cabin, $744 a year to keep it running. The math is not complicated. Now here's the caveat, and this one is specific enough that it can save you a couple $1,000s if you remember it. On 2012 and earlier FX35 models, the oil galley gaskets can fail and trigger a limp mode that leaves you stranded and staring at a repair bill north of $2,000 in labor alone. The 2013 FX37 received revised gaskets from the factory and is not affected by this problem. That single model year change is worth knowing before you start shopping, because a 2012 at a lower price can quickly become more expensive than the 2013 you passed on. If you are looking at a 2012 or earlier FX35 because the price is tempting, ask the seller directly whether that oil galley gasket repair has been completed. There should be a receipt. Any seller who has done it will know exactly what you are talking about. If they look confused, factor the full labor cost into whatever offer you are considering. Here is your inspection checklist before you put any money down. Number 1. On any 2012 or earlier FX35, confirm the oil galley gasket repair has been completed and ask to see the receipt. The repair is well documented in the Infiniti community, and a seller who has done it will not hesitate to show you the paperwork. Number 2. Check the oil level on the dipstick before the test drive. This engine is known to consume oil between changes, and a low reading before you even leave the driveway is a clear maintenance flag. Number 3. Listen for timing. Chain rattle on a cold start. Some light noise at startup is normal, but it should settle within 30 seconds. If the rattle stays after the engine warms up, the chain guides are wearing, and that repair is not cheap. Number 4. Take a corner at around 30 miles per hour and listen for a low hum coming from the front wheels. Front wheel bearings on the FX platform tend to wear out between 80,000 and 120,000 miles and run $400 to $700 per side to replace. A hum in the corner tells you one is already on its way out. Right now, 2013 Infiniti FX37s are listed starting around $5,765 on Cars.com, with a nationwide average closer to $10,500. The examples sitting under $10,000 are generally in the 130,000 to 180,000 mile range. Verify current listings before you go, because this is one of those vehicles that moves faster than people expect once the right buyer finds it. The 2013 FX37 is a sports car platform wearing luxury crossover clothes, powered by an engine Nissan originally engineered for a two-seat performance car, available for under $8,000 because the used market is not caught up to what is actually under the hood. Check the oil level monthly. Stay on top of the basics, and this vehicle will remind you every single time you take a corner that you made a very smart decision. At $744 a year in average maintenance costs, the FX37 belongs on your short list before someone else figures it out first. Number 3. The 2007 to 2009 Acura MDX. Someone drove a first-generation Acura MDX to 946,000. 252 miles on the original engine, nearly 1 million miles, one engine. The drive covered the story and the numbers were verified. The same Honda V6 family sitting in that car is the exact engine inside the 2007 to 2009 MDX generation we are talking about right now. And you can buy one for under $8,000. 7 seats, all-wheel drive, a cabin that competes with vehicles that cost 3 times as much, and maintenance data that is more consistent than anything else on this list. Here is what makes the MDX the most logical choice for anyone trying to move a whole family without destroying their savings account in the process. RepairPal puts the average annual maintenance cost at $571. The segment average for luxury midsize SUVs is $807. That gap, $236 a year, does not sound dramatic until you stack it over 5 or 6 years of ownership and realize you just kept an extra $1,000 in your pocket for doing absolutely nothing differently. The Honda V6 in this generation runs port injection. That single engineering detail matters more than most buyers realize because port injection means no carbon buildup on the intake valves, no $800 cleaning service sitting on your calendar every 60,000 miles. The VTEC system adjusts valve lift mechanically in one clean step, which means fewer things that can go wrong and fewer conversations with a service advisor who is about to ruin your afternoon. RepairPal rates the MDX at 4.0 out of 5 for reliability. That puts it second most reliable among 14 rated luxury midsize SUVs in its class. The probability of a major repair in any given year is 8%. The segment average is 11%. On a 7-seat luxury SUV available for around $7,000. That is the most reassuring number on this entire list. Now here is the one thing you need to budget for before you buy, because skipping it is how people turn a great deal into an expensive lesson. The MDX uses a timing belt, and this is an interference engine. That means if the belt snaps, the engine does not just stop. The valves and pistons meet each other in a way that nobody wants, and the repair bill that follows is not a conversation you want to have. The belt needs to be replaced at 100,000 miles. And that service runs between $1,200 and $1,800. Know that number before you negotiate the purchase price, not after. The other thing to watch is the 5-speed automatic transmission. The 2007 to 2009 MDX has a documented torque converter failure pattern, and the symptom is sneaky enough that a lot of buyers miss it entirely on a test drive. It feels like a subtle vibration between 25 and 45 miles per hour on a light highway cruise, almost like briefly rolling over rumble strips at speed. If the previous owner skipped transmission fluid changes, that torque could already be on its way out. A 3-step drain and refill using Honda-specified fluid is the preventive fix if you catch it early. If the damage is already done, a rebuild runs $3,500 or more, which is a significant chunk of what you paid for the vehicle. Here is your inspection checklist before any money changes hands. Number 1. Cruise between 25 and 45 miles per hour on the test drive and pay attention to what you feel through the seat. Torque converter judder is subtle and easy to miss if you are not specifically looking for it. Do not get distracted by the nice interior. Number 2. Confirm the timing belt was replaced at or before 100,000 miles and ask to see the receipt. On an interference engine, a verbal confirmation from the seller means nothing. A receipt means everything. Inspect the radiator end tanks for any rust staining or signs of weeping. This generation has a documented radiator failure pattern, and catching it before it becomes a coolant problem saves you a headache down the road. Number 4. Test the rear differential lock at low speed to confirm the all-wheel drive system is actually functioning. It is a 2-second check that tells you whether the system the previous owner bragged about is still operational. Right now, 2007 to 2009 Acura MDXs are listed starting around $4,925 on Cars.com, with most well-maintained examples falling between $6,000 and $9,500. Verify current listings before you go shopping because clean examples at this price point do not sit long once the right buyer finds them. The MDX is Honda engineering, wearing an Acura badge, 7 seats, all-wheel drive, a cabin that punches well above its price, and repair costs that consistently come in below the segment average. The timing belt is the price of entry. Budget for it, verify it was done, and everything after that is just the reward for doing your homework, while everyone else was walking past it on the lot. Number 2. The 2010 to 2017 Toyota 4Runner Limited. Toyota has been building this exact truck for over a decade with almost zero mechanical changes. Not because they forgot about it, not because they ran out of ideas, because the reliability data came back and told them there was nothing to fix. When a vehicle is lasting so long that your own engineers cannot justify changing it, that is not a product. That is a statement. A writer drove his 2005 4Runner to 350,000 miles, published the whole story, and the engine was original. The transmission was original. The truck was still running. The 4Runner on this list uses the same engine family, updated in 2010 with dual variable valve timing on both intake and exhaust. According to IC Cars, 32.9% of all 4Runners reach 250,000 miles. The industry average for any vehicle is 4.8%. Let that number sit with you for a second. 1 in 3 4Runners crosses 250,000 miles, while the rest of the industry struggles to get 1 in 20 there. Here is what separates the 4Runner from everything else competing for your attention at this price point. The body-on-frame chassis means this vehicle can be repaired in ways that modern crossovers simply cannot. Rust on a body panel, cut it out, and replace it. A crossover with the same problem is a total loss conversation with your insurance company. The frame absorbs road stress instead of transferring it into the cabin walls, which means a high-mileage 4Runner does not develop the door gap, rattles, and structural creaking that make a high-mileage crossover feel like it is slowly falling apart around you. The limited trim brings heated leather, a JBL audio system, and a moonroof. That is genuine luxury sitting on top of a truck chassis that was engineered to outlast the people who buy it. Now here is the part that makes this engine almost unreasonably low maintenance. The 4.0-liter V6 has no direct injection, which means no carbon buildup on the intake valves, and no $800 cleaning appointment showing up on your service calendar at 80,000 miles. No cylinder deactivation, no turbochargers, no timing belt. Toyota essentially built this powertrain by removing every single thing that tends to fail on other engines, and then just left the parts that work. The result is a drivetrain that Toyota USA described as a continuation of a 40-year design philosophy built specifically around longevity. And then actual owners went out and proved it by driving these things to 300,000 miles and writing about it on the internet. Now, here is the caveat, and this one is about price more than mechanical risk. The 4Runner holds its value so aggressively that finding a clean example under $10,000 means accepting real mileage. Expect somewhere between 160,000 and 200,000 miles on 2010 to 2012 models in this price range. That mileage is genuinely fine for this engine. The engine is not the concern. The concern is whether the previous owner treated the drivetrain fluids with the same respect the engine deserves. Degraded transmission fluid and differential oil that has never been changed are how people turn a bulletproof truck into an expensive repair job. A fluid check at the time of purchase costs about $50. Skipping it can cost you a transmission, and a 4Runner transmission is not a small number. Here is your inspection checklist before you commit to anything. Number 1. Check the transmission fluid on the dipstick before you even start the test drive. It should be red and clean. Brown or dark fluid on a 4Runner is not a cosmetic issue. It is a warning about how this truck was treated for the last several years. Number 2. Crawl underneath and inspect the frame rails and rear wheel wells for rust, especially on any example that spent time in a northern state where road salt is a seasonal tradition. Number 3. Verify the lower ball joint. Recall has been completed by running the VIN through the Federal Recall database before you hand over a single dollar. This takes 3 minutes and it is free. Number 4. Coast at low speed with the windows down and listen for a low-frequency hum coming from the rear differential. Early differential wear announces itself as sound long before it turns into an actual failure, and catching it on the test drive is significantly cheaper than finding out about it a month after purchase. Right now, 2010 Toyota 4Runners are listed starting around $10,495 on Cars.com, with most examples falling between $11,000 and $17,000. Under $10,000 examples do exist. but they are sitting in the high mileage range on 2010 to 2012 models. Verify current listings before you go because clean 4Runners at any price do not sit on lots for long. And the people who know what they are looking at move fast. The 4Runner Limited is no direct injection, no cylinder deactivation, no timing belt, a body-on-frame chassis that laughs at the mileage that would retire a crossover, and a luxury interior that has no business being attached to something this mechanically indestructible. The premium over comparable crossovers is real. So is every single reason that premium exists. Number 1. The 2008 to 2016 Toyota Sequoia Platinum. One man drove a Toyota to 1 million miles. Toyota was so impressed they handed him a brand new one to study. He drove that one to 1 million miles too. Same engine family, different truck, same result. And when Toyota's chief engineer took apart the original motor after 1 million miles, what they found inside was not a worn-out engine. It was an engine that looked like it still had somewhere to be. That engine is the 5.7-liter V8 sitting inside the Sequoia Platinum. And right now, a 2010 Sequoia Platinum with 200,000 miles is sitting on the market for under $10,000. In April 2025, Victor Shepard crossed 1 million miles in his second Toyota using the same 5.7-liter V8 that powers every Sequoia Platinum on this list. According to CarScoops, that milestone was verified and documented. iSeeCars studied 174 million vehicles across the entire American market and ranked the Sequoia first, not close to first. First by a significant margin. On top of that, 39.1% of all Sequoias reach 250,000 miles. The industry average is 4.8%. This is not a reliable vehicle. This is a different category of vehicle that happens to share a road with reliable vehicles. Here is what makes this engine specifically different from everything else available at this price. No cylinder deactivation, no turbochargers, no direct injection, no timing belt. Toyota ran this engine through more than 800,000 miles of internal durability testing before it ever reached a single customer. Port fuel injection means no carbon buildup on the intake valves, so no $800 cleaning service hiding in your future maintenance schedule. The dual variable valve timing operates through mechanical cam phasers, not electronic solenoids, which removes an entire category of failure from the conversation. This engine was not built with an expiration date engineered into it, and the data from 174 million vehicles confirms that is not marketing language. The Platinum trim is not a base model wearing a fancy name either. Heated leather seats, rear entertainment screens, a power folding third row, and a JBL audio system. When this truck was new, it competed directly with the Cadillac Escalade on showroom floors across the country. You can now buy it for less than a used Honda Accord in good condition. Now here is the caveat, and this one is specific enough to save you a few $1,000s if you catch it on inspection. High-mileage Sequoias commonly develop an oil leak at the camshaft housing joint. This is not a head gasket failure, which would be a far more serious conversation. It is a sealant joint that loosens over time as the engine goes through heat cycles for years on end. The repair runs between $1,200 and $3,500 in labor, depending on how long it has been dripping. A small stain on inspection is manageable and worth using as a negotiating point on the price. An engine cover that is soaked in oil means it has been leaking for a while, and the repair moves from negotiating chip to immediate priority. Know the difference before you make an offer. Toyota also had a frame corrosion legal settlement that covered this platform, so any frame remedy should already be on record for the vehicle. Check it. That documentation either exists or it does not, and the answer matters before you sign anything. Here's your inspection checklist before any money moves. Number 1, remove the engine cover and look directly at the rear cam tower joint for any oil staining or residue buildup. This is the single most important check on any high-mileage Sequoia. Number 2, crawl underneath and inspect the frame rails for rust pitting. paying extra attention to any example that spent time in a northern state where road salt is applied generously every winter for months at a time. Number 3. Confirm the lower ball joint recall has been completed by running the VIN through the Federal Recall Database. Free, takes 3 minutes, and tells you immediately whether this was handled or ignored. Number 4. Listen for a brief rattle from the front of the engine on a cold start, a secondary air pump that does not clear within 30 seconds of startup costs between $900 and $1,400 to replace. Short rattle that disappears quickly is normal. A rattle that stays is a bill that is already waiting for you. Right now, 2008 to 2010 Toyota Sequoia Platinums are listed starting around $8,994 on Cars.com for high mileage examples. Most Platinum trims across the full 2008 to 2016 range fall between $9,000 and $18,000, depending on mileage and condition. The under $10,000 entry point lands on examples around 200,000 miles, which for this specific engine is not a concern. It is just a number on the odometer. The Sequoia Platinum is the #1 longest-lasting vehicle in America, according to the largest vehicle longevity study ever conducted. It is available in full luxury trim for under $10,000. It carries the same engine that one man drove to 1 million miles twice. Toyota, like engineers watching both times and taking notes. If you want the most durability-proven vehicle your money can buy right now, search Sequoia Platinum inventory and move before someone else who just watched this video beats you to it. If this video saved you money or changed the way you think about buying a used vehicle, hit that like button, leave a comment telling me which one of these 5 you would actually buy, and subscribe so you do not miss the next one. We will see you in the next video.